On the sun-drenched slopes of the Mediterranean, where limestone soil drinks the heat of the day, there grows a plant whose name has become a synonym for calm. Lavender, a small evergreen shrub, silver-leaved and crowned in violet. It has scented the human story for thousands of years. Its origins lie in the dry highlands stretching from the Canary Islands across North Africa to the foothills of the Alps and the rocky reaches of India. There, in poor and stony ground where little else would thrive, lavender learned to survive on sunlight, drainage, and neglect. It is a child of hardship, and that hardship is the source of its perfume. The harsher the conditions, the more concentrated the oil within its slender flowers. Botanists count more than 40 species, but it is the true lavender, Lavandula angustifolia, and its hardy hybrid the lavandin that carpet the famous fields of southern France. The ancient world prized it long before perfumers did. The very word lavender is thought to descend from the Latin lavare, to wash, for the Romans scattered its flowers in their baths and laundered their garments in its scent. The Egyptians folded lavender into the resins of mummification. The Greeks burned it as incense, and in the great plagues of medieval Europe, people believed its fragrance could ward off pestilence, stuffing it into pockets and hanging it above doorways. Whether or not it cured disease, it surely sweetened a world thick with the smell of death. To grow lavender is to practice patience. The seeds are slow and stubborn, so most plants are raised from cuttings, rooted and tended until they can be set into the open earth. Spaced in long parallel rows, they take 2 or 3 years to reach their full and flowering maturity. They ask for full sun, alkaline soil, and very little water. Too much rain, too rich a ground, and the plant grows lush but loses the very oils that give it worth. Each summer the rows ignite into ribbons of purple, humming with bees, and the harvest must be timed with care. Cut too early and the oil is thin. Cut too late and the precious essence begins to fade. So in the brief weeks of high summer, the fields are mown, traditionally by hand with curved sickles, now more often by machines that straddle the rows and shear the flowering stems in a single pass. The cut lavender is then bundled or loaded and carried to the still. There, in great copper or steel vessels, steam is forced through the flowers, lifting the fragrant oil into vapor. The vapor is cooled, and the oil separates from the water, floating golden upon the surface. It is a startling exchange. It takes a vast quantity of blossoms, often more than 130 pounds, to yield a single pound of pure essential oil. That scarcity is the foundation of an entire industry. Today, lavender is big business. The region of Provence in France has built a global reputation, its summer fields drawing photographers and tourists from every continent. Yet France no longer reigns alone. Bulgaria has risen to become one of the largest producers of lavender oil in the world, and significant harvests now come from Ukraine, China, and the high plateaus of the United States. The oil flows into perfumes and soaps, into candles and cleaning products, into the booming trade of aromatherapy, where its scent is sold as a promise of rest in a sleepless age. Modern science has begun to test those promises, finding modest evidence that lavender may ease anxiety and aid sleep. But the plant faces new pressures. Warming summers, drought, and a bacterial disease spread by insects have thinned the fields of Provence, and growers wrestle with the cost of staying ahead. Still, the rows return each year, purple and patient, tended by families who have worked the same ground for generations. In a single sprig of lavender lies the whole quiet logic of agriculture. That beauty and value can be coaxed from the most unpromising soil, that scarcity gives worth, and that what we grow to soothe ourselves is itself the product of relentless labor under an unforgiving sun. The fragrance that calms a restless mind was wrung, drop by drop, from a hard and stony hillside.